Russia has deployed a submarine and other naval vessels to escort an oil tanker that is being targeted by the United States as it heads to Venezuela.
The United States intercepts a Russian-flagged oil tanker linked to Venezuela. This is news that just came in. The United States intercepted this Wednesday.
Russia decided to send a nuclear submarine to escort the ship Bella 1, which is a flagless oil tanker that left Iran bound for Venezuela. Prevented from anchoring due to the maritime blockade imposed by the United States in the region, the ship was fleeing in open waters. But today, the United States managed to seize the oil tanker, causing fury. In the government of Vladimir Putin, the Kremlin had already requested the government of Donald Trump to stop the pursuit of the oil tanker, but the Southern Command continued to chase the vessel. After seizing 2 other oil tankers, the United States kept up the pursuit of the Bella 1 for more than 2 weeks, under the accusation that Venezuela was illegally exporting oil to other countries. Now, with the detention of the oil tanker and the arrival of the Russian naval escort in the region, the geopolitical scenario becomes even more tense and unpredictable. Welcome to life in the barracks. In the Caribbean Sea, the United States Coast Guard worked together with the Marines to capture the oil tanker Bella 1 in a high-risk operation. Military personnel landed from helicopters using ropes, quickly taking control of the vessel, while destroyer ships provided support for the operation. They were positioned with their weapon systems, ready to intervene in case there was any resistance. The coordination between air and naval forces demonstrated the American capability to carry out complex missions in international waters, reinforcing the blockade imposed against the transport of Venezuelan oil. According to the New York Times, the United States claims that the ship Bella 1 was sailing without a valid national flag, which would put it in a stateless vessel situation. In terms of international law, vessels without official registration are not protected by the laws of any country and can be boarded by foreign naval forces. This condition allowed the United States to justify pursuing and seizing the ship, arguing that it does not have recognized sovereignty and therefore would be vulnerable to international enforcement actions. After the pursuit began, Bella 1 tried to obtain protection from Russia by painting a Russian flag on its hull and informing the United States Coast Guard by radio that it was sailing under Moscow's authority. The New York Times reports that the ship was recently added to Russia's official ship registry, now under the new name Marinera, with its port of origin being the city of Sochi on the Black Sea. This move sought to legitimize the ship and hinder United States action, but it raised doubts about the registration's authenticity and the ship's true ties to the Russian government. At the same time, the United States imposed sanctions on 4 companies linked to Venezuela's oil sector, including associated oil tankers. This measure is part of the strategy to choke off the financing networks of Chavismo, which depend on illegal oil exports and international drug trafficking to maintain the regime. By directly targeting the involved companies and vessels, Washington seeks to cut off the flow of resources that sustains the political and military structure in Venezuela, weakening its capacity for resistance and reducing its regional influence. The White House has ordered the United States Armed Forces to focus almost exclusively on enforcing a blockade on Venezuelan oil for the next 2 months. This order was issued even before the capture of Nicolas Maduro. With Donald Trump's statement that the United States will command the future of Venezuela, the maritime blockade is likely to intensify. Life in the barracks. The clear strategy is to prevent the Chavista regime from using oil as an international bargaining chip and to consolidate control over the country's energy resources, increasing political and military pressure until there is no room left for Chavismo to maneuver for survival. The seizure of the Bella One, which now flies a Russian flag, could be the spark for an unprecedented crisis between Russia and the United States. The relationship between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin has proven to be a real push and pull situation, marked by moments of apparent understanding and others of direct confrontation. Trump even stated that he would end the war in Ukraine, but Putin maintains his firm stance regarding the annexation of part of Ukrainian territory, making it clear that he will not give up his strategic objectives. At the same time, Trump was equally uncompromising in neutralizing and capturing Nicolas Maduro, a close ally of Putin, demonstrating that, despite occasional signs of rapprochement, both remain on opposite sides on crucial issues. Venezuela and Ukraine have become central pieces on this geopolitical chessboard, serving as pressure points and bargaining chips between the two leaders. Behind the public statements and military maneuvers, there are much more complex interests at play. Oil, power, strategic positioning, and money are what really matter. These factors make the relationship between Trump and Putin even more unpredictable, swinging between moments of dialogue and confrontation, always with a direct impact on international stability and on the countries that end up serving as the stage for this struggle for influence. By sending a naval fleet to escort an oil tanker in the Caribbean Sea, Vladimir Putin shows boldness and determination, since Russia is geographically very far from the region. This military maneuver highlights the Kremlin's willingness to directly challenge American influence in an area considered strategic and sensitive for Washington. The Caribbean Sea has historically been seen as the backyard of the United States, and the arrival of a nuclear submarine accompanied by Russian destroyers profoundly changes the regional dynamic. Will the United States release the seized oil tanker, which mysteriously started flying the Russian flag, or will they keep the vessel detained? The next few days will bring intense geopolitical tension, as each move could shift negotiations and regional power. Someone will have to give in, and the outcome could bring unexpected consequences. The city of Brasileiro. Leave your opinion here in the comments and join the debate about this tense situation which could change at any moment. At Life in the Barracks, you stay updated on all things military. Like, subscribe and watch a video on your screen. Forward, soldiers. Until next time.